Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast, proudly sponsored by our friends at White Mackay Triple Mature Whiskey. We are three Scottish comedians. I'm Mark Jennings.
I'm Stephen Buchanan.
And I'm Stuart McPherson.
And we'll be having some laugh.
And at least some laughs.
Whether it's just us three or we're joined by guests from the world of comedy and beyond.
You know, I think White Mackay are the perfect sponsor for us.
Why would you say that is, Mark? Is it because we're a great Scottish podcast and they're a great Scottish whiskey?
Well, yes, but also because a drama White Mackay, it's smooth, like Stu. It's mature, like me.
If you don't say so yourself.
And it's wee, like Steve.
Come on. So why not pour yourself a wee dram?
Provided you're over the age of 18.
And not driving or operating heavy machinery.
And enjoy this week's episode of the Some Laugh podcast with White and Mackay.
Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. We're joined today by Greg McHugh.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in, Greg.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
It's lovely to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
I'm already worried about how far your coffee cup is away from you.
Yeah, that looks like a problem.
Well, we've got one there, but
oh, is that right?
That's
You've
a
got
stunt cup.
I've got another
that's
one.
A stunt cup.
That's a stunt cup. You know, these are the tricks you learn over time. I mean, that one's got nothing in it, so I don't even know what it's doing there.
There you go.
But don't worry, I'll show
It's
you some tricks for that
actually,
later.
we've not got a wide today.
Have you not?
Nah, we came down to this Spotify studio in
Tin
London.
pot.
They can't even give us a fucking wide shot.
You give us a fucking wide. That is fucking wide. That is wide, mate. No, it's very fancy. It's very hot.
It's very hot.
I mean, no one cares about that when you say that when you're on a podcast, but I can just want to reassure people it's very hot.
Yeah, well,
So-
maybe they're hot as well, and then they can be like, oh my, these guys are so relatable.
We can so identify with them in London and Spotify.
100%.
How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Good.
We're good. Well, it's great to chat to you. I'd messaged you to see if you were up the road when the new series of Only Child came out, but obviously what we've ended up doing here, so thank you for coming on.
Not
Can
at
I
all.
just say, as someone who lives with a dad who has got hearing problems, that is one of the most relatable series I've
Is it?
ever. Oh man, unbelievable. Do you know what?
Well, for someone who works with someone who's got hearing problems, it's very relatable too, i.e. Gregor.
Is that right?
So no, he's very much on it, but yeah, when his hearing aids are playing up a little bit, we do actually seem to be playing one continuous scene. So that's good. I'm glad that you can relate to some of the madness.
100%. No, it's because it's like. Honestly, so much it's almost like triggering how close to home it is, and it like just having to repeat it and then just having to gear up and realise.
Yeah.
But I think it also captures that like there is guys basically all of my dad's age like that like if they've got something like they're just no hearing and stuff, they're just wandering through life, no really get a clue what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. There's something quite liberating about that, I suspect. Do we always have to hear? Do we always have to? No offence to the community that cannot, by the way, but do we have to listen and tune into people? And I think that, there's a bit of freedom in not having to like indulge in small talk and all the rest of it. I think there's something quite good about that. Like my mum, she can hear okay, but she's got no email, she's got no phone, she's got no technical things in her life, and she lives quite a simplistic, and I like tapping into that world of seeing her. I don't have to, we're not doing voice tennis or whatever you say. It's like you phone her on the house phone and she picks up.
Aye.
I mean, what kind of conversation you have, you're never going to know, but at least it's quite linear, in that regard.
100%, man. I know. No, but it's a great series 2, of course, and it's an interesting one because I guess it's yourself and Gregor, so it's of course Gary Tank Commander and Rabsy Nesbitt. It's
Scottish
like an Avengers
Avengers.
Assemble of Scottish
It's a
comedy.
very low level Avengers Assemble, but yeah, people find it when we're filming in the street and different generations and of Scottish comedy, I suppose. No, it is, and for me to work with him is like amazing. You grow up watching people, and then this was a few years ago. I did Rabsy Nesbitt, and we shot a scene. I was this DWP pensions dude, and I just couldn't get my lines out. Like I couldn't. He was in front of me, and when it came to it, I was like, because it was just overwhelming. Whereas now I have no respect for him at all. So we can do scenes. No, we get on very well, and we worked on another show briefly together. And I got to know him a little bit there, but it's nice. I mean, it's nice, and hopefully he's not Rab and I'm not Gary in it, so it's quite a nice thing to get to do, you know.
Aye, 100%.
Although the idea of Rab Nesbitt and Gary being in a show
there's
together,
an odd couple.
Yeah, it's a very odd couple.
If you're ever struggling, that's an easy pitch. Surely.
That's a good, in a very, very small flat. Good.
Did you start out in Gary Tank Commander as on stage as a stand-up act?
Do you know, weirdly, I didn't. It was something that happened. I was doing a very underwritten poor show in 2005 in Edinburgh as myself, dying on my arse. I got voted worst of the Fringe 2005 by the Scotsman.
Really?
Genuinely,
And there's a lot on at the Fringe.
there was a lot of the Fringe. I mean, that's a title that I will never forget. And there was a section in the Scotsman that said this is one of the worst. Greg McHugh thinks he's good, hasn't got any structure, any real jokes. And what had happened was I thought I could convert a 20-minute club set into an hour, and I didn't realise it was a real kind of baptism of fire. And in that time, I was in Stand 2 in Edinburgh. I think can I blame them? Maybe they were something to do with that.
Partial blame, yeah.
No, I love the Stand. And there was a guy, Will Andrews, who was an act as well at the time. He'd started working for the comedy unit, and Will said to me, God, this is a tough run. Have you got any other ideas? I've started working for the comedy unit. And I said, well, not really, but no one's talking about Iraq or Afghanistan. And what we did was going to improvise a scene in my mum's car. Will cut it together, like a 3-minute scene. And he put it on at a night called Rough Cut in Glasgow. And by coincidence, the night he put it on, there was a guy in the audience called Shane Allen, who was the head of Channel 4 Comedy, and saw this clip and then went, oh, that's mad or odd, weird, potential maybe. And so Gary actually started out of a filmed clip. And then the same chap, Shane Allen, said to me, do you know what you need to do is you need to go and put Gary on stage. And I was like, Shane, I'll tell you one thing, mate, that character will never work on stage because he just doesn't care enough. And he went, go and try it. See what it's like being on stage bulletproof. And then that gave me the confidence to do that. So Gary I used to walk on and sometimes the first thing I'd say is, not. Just not. Just he doesn't care. Just doesn't care. So that was from being a stand-up who was doing observational kind of not great stuff really, into someone who came on and stood and just was like, not bother. The shift there was fascinating. So Shane was right.
Yeah, that must have been. Must have felt good.
It did. I mean, I got booed off a couple of early gigs.
And you probably did care.
Yeah. And you care deeply underneath. In fact, Stephen K. Amos said to me years ago, I got booed off at this festival in Inverness, and he said, look, you're a good stand-up, but that character's going nowhere, so I think you should just leave that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I've joked with him about that ever since. But at that point, you'd totally understand that if he's seen you do kind of my observational shtick and it was all right, you stick with that. But I think the idea of Gary was just, you're finding the character. You're trying to find your character voice. You're trying new jokes, and you need to stick with that. You guys know, for a certain period of time to improve. You've got to improve.
100%.
Yeah.
So what, you just kept doing it live and then like kind of developed it there, and then you ended up, because I seen the thing, because it started out as a Channel 4 thing, is that right?
It did,
was it Gary's War or something? It was
Gary's
called?
War was the thing that, and actually in many ways Gary's War was properly satirical, and it was about Iraq and Afghanistan through the eyes of this soldier, and it's maybe what I'm kind of most proud of in some ways. When it went to the BBC, it was still a really good fun show, but it became more fun than it did satirical. And that was a whole learning curve, as well as like who you're writing for. In your ideal mind, you want control of everything, but you know, once you're under commission as a writer, you're writing for Channel 4 for satire, for BBC Scotland, you're writing for broader comedy, and that's what ended up happening. So the show went from one thing, and I don't regret either, but that was a really interesting, as a performer and a writer, you're going, all right, but I want to do both. No, different channels want different things.
Because in the Channel 4 thing, like there's you see clips of Bush and Blair and all that stuff, and it's a bit more, as you say, like that, a bit more satirical. And then obviously like, it's probably, I suppose, more kind of character driven than just more a maybe traditional sitcom, I suppose, when it becomes the BBC
It was,
series.
and we had to broaden it in terms of how many characters. You know, Gary and Gary's War, it's basically Gary. Julie's in it, the brilliant Leah McRae, and that was just learning about how sitcom land worked. You can't just have Gary on his own or with one other character every single week. Like who's in these who's in his group. So we got an incredible bunch of actors in, and we found a good balance, and it became a different thing.
Yeah. Because I was at uni at the time and I was very political, and I think I boycotted it at the time because I was like, I'm not watching this guy in the army, it's just trying to do away the crimes of the British state, and then I've since watched it and I'll be like, it's actually it's good.
You missed some funny stuff.
I missed some funny stuff.
Making quite a hard stance there.
Yeah, I was like,
Gary is a funny target for your ire at the Iraq War.
I thought it just
I mean, it was interesting because you do, like, in terms of that, I was slightly worried about, am I doing an advert for the army? When I went to BBC, are we missing the satire that we need about this horrible thing that's going on? But what was quite interesting was the army got behind it, and soldiers who came up to me could see what I was trying to do with it, which was highlight the fact that soldiers by their nature are fighting for each other, and then you have these powers that are telling the soldiers what to do, and their job is not to question that, is to go with the flow. So it's about this group of idiots, or Gary's the idiot, the other boys are good soldiers. But it was nice that the army actually responded to the main element. I was quite nervous about what they were going to think about it. But if I could just apologise to you personally now, Mark, about the offence I caused, I'd definitely like to do that.
No, it was me being silly as a young guy, and like, I think everyone's laughing. But no, it was
Alistair Campbell's probably in the building as well.
He's next door in the rest.
He's just going to hook me as I walk out. Absolutely.
You get a high five. No, but that must have been some buzz then. So like to get the series and then for it to blow up as much as it done.
Oh, it was mad. It was because Gary's War won a Scottish BAFTA. And then that evening, someone from the BBC came up to me and said, I'd really like to chat to you if you wanted to develop this further with us. And I'm not joking, that's literally what happened. Was I had Channel 4 had that big crash around 2008, I think, where all the revenue kind of went out of TV, and I had a meeting with the BBC and they said, we'll sort the rights out for you. So I think they kind of bought the Gary rights, and then we made a sitcom. It was a much simpler time.
Yeah, brilliant.
Although it didn't seem simple at the time, you have to actually fucking write the thing. But it was amazing. I don't think that would ever happen now, that someone could come up to you and say, do you want to come and chat to me? We'll develop that. And then I think it was probably a few months later, we had a commission for 6 episodes. So it went from a 10-minute to 6 episodes all of a sudden. So,
wow.
And also, as I was saying, like with different kind of parameters, is that they wanted big and broad. And I was a bit like, I don't know if I want to do big and broad, but do I want my career to progress? Do I want to work? Do I want money? I was in debt. I remember that period so well. Like there was not a lot happening for me. I came out of drama school, couldn't get an agent, couldn't get work. So it's interesting what you weigh up, your true values versus your practical kind of things. It's where you meet in the middle of it.
Completely.
And so when did you get into stand up then? Like when because you did you start that when you were at drama school, or was that after? Or
that was pre-drama school. It kind of saved me in drama school because I had an odd time at the RSCMD, it was Royal Conservatoire. We had a very kind of odd chap leading our course. So I started stand up in 2000. After I went to Stirling Uni, a mate of mine, Nicola McDonough, a lovely individual, said, "You're really funny, you should go and do this." And I stupidly believed her and went and tried out in the back room of the stand, where it's now the green room at the stand in
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So that used to hold 25 people or 30 people. And Des Clark was comparing the first time I did stand up, and I was like, oh my God, it's Des Clark. And I'm still like that when I see him. It's Des. So that's when I started, and then it was just me doing observational story kind of nonsense. So Gary came quite a bit later after I'd done that.
Who was kicking about at that time on the scene?
Well, I mean, two people that are still kicking about, Raymond and Joe Heenan and Paul Snedden, who I saw the other day in Brighton. And back then, Tommy Shepherd was very actively involved in the stand, and Jane Mackay. Don't know if you ever met Jane.
I never met Jane.
Brilliant. Bruce Devlin.
I'm surprised you were doing it that long ago, Greg.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, you look good for it.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. I was 8. I was the Doogie Howser of Scottish stand-up. But I'm 46, so 26 years ago. That is surreal.
That's mad.
It is really
crazy,
surreal. And people like Joe Heenan who are so brilliant, and you realise that when you see a lot of acts, how long they've been doing it, and it takes a lot of time to be very, very good. I mean, obviously you guys have progressed incredibly quickly and are very good, but so there's lots of familiar names still out there doing brilliant stand-up.
Yeah, Because I can imagine, because like just going for like just doing circuit gigs and all that, and kind of maybe struggling to get by, as you were saying, and then suddenly you get this commission, and then suddenly it becomes a success through this character. And like, it must have been some buzz.
Oh, it was mad. I mean, the day before it was due to be, or 2 days before it was due to be broadcast, certainly with Tank Commander, there was a terrible atrocity in Afghanistan where a number of soldiers were killed by the people they were training, right? And we had this big meeting where it was all the heads of marketing and press and the commissioning editor, Ewan Angus. And there was split views in the room. They were like, no, we just can't show this. We can't put it out after what has happened. And to be fair to Ewan Angus, he said, no, we're putting it out. And I always remember that because you need backers and you need people. And Ewan believed in the show. And actually, there was a very tense meeting. I do remember that. But they put it out and we didn't get complaints, and the army kind of got behind it. And I think of that time where if they hadn't put it out, maybe they would have shelved it and it wouldn't have ever gone out, kind of thing. So then all of a sudden, a year later, a lot of people were watching it, and I was like, oh, this is quite surreal. This is quite mad. And then, of course, thankfully, that's when people started shouting "Gare" at me walking down the street. They still do.
People just do they just want you to do the voice all the time?
Yeah, I think they do.
It is a very fun voice. I think that's part of the problem.
Is that the thing? I should have gone for a much more monotone.
Where did you get that voice? Because like, where did that character come from?
That character came from a real person on a bus in Edinburgh, and that's true. So I used to do a bit in the stand-up story, but it was a thing I witnessed where a guy...
He was a bus commander, was he?
He was a bus commander. He was hard. In fact, the original name for Gary was Gary McClintock Hard as Fuck. That was for the Channel 4 one. They were like, oh, you can't use that. I just thought it was something quite funny. But this guy on the bus who confronted a group of Neds at the back, that was the voice. It was like an Edinburgh like camp kind of like schemy guy, but you knew you wouldn't mess with him. Like he was one of them. You're like, all right, that guy's obviously... I wouldn't. So when he confronted them, I was like, that is amazing. It was an amazing thing to witness. And then, of course, I just stole his identity for a tank commander in the army. So, yeah, it came from a real event, yeah.
That's mad. And see, like the cheesy pasta thing. Like, see, when you were doing that in the show, did you think that would become...
No, that came from being hungover. I phoned Will. We'd been on a big mad night. God, that was, 15, 16 years ago. We'd been out. And I phoned him. I had nothing going on. There was no, because that was pre the actual sitcom. That was a sketch show I did. In fact, that was Channel 4, that sketch show. And I said, oh man, what happened last night is, I can't remember. What are you having for lunch? And he's like, what? I said, what are you having for lunch? He said, well, I'm having some cheesy pasta. I'm like, all right, okay. Right. You know, you're just hungover and you're just chatting rubbish. There's no reason for any question. Maybe you just want a bit of comfort and you want to chat to someone for a minute. And so I get off the phone. I'm in this flat on my own trying to write sketches for this show. And I just said, cheese the pasta. As Gary, after that phone call. And I just kept saying it, cheese the pasta. Choose the pasta, and there was something about
it's like
that
when
I
Paul
don't
McCartney
know.
wrote, was it scrambled eggs? You know,
Yeah, exactly. So there was something about that I just thought, well, I need to use that as many times as I can.
And Trisha Goddard, that's a nice combination of elements.
Goddard, that's right. Yeah. Just got back for Iraq. Just thought,
God, really
It's really Serheed. That's it. It is, but it is, isn't it? It's surreal. And you'll find that in stand-up is that things you discover are words that kind of just chime and they're the right word or the right word for the character. But, you know, the thing about Gary as well is like, if I say I wrote that cheesy pasta sketch as a sketch and sent it off to Radio 4 or whoever, it doesn't matter, but Radio 4, you just wrote it and go, well, what is that? Are you serious? That's not a sketch, but you need the character to inform the sketch. So... I'd say to folk that are writing, you know, have faith that it's where character meets writing sometimes. It's not just on the actual words. So that was, again, it's bit by bit, isn't it? So I was writing sketches and then little did I realise how important the sketches were going to be for when we wrote a sitcom. Yeah. So there's a lot of development that I had thrown at me from Channel 4 and then huge from BBC. So it was like just tiny little bits trying to get better, getting booed off. Then writing a mini sketch and then eventually, you know, so it took a long time really to get Gary off the ground.
That cheesy pasta one in particular, it was kind of like an early viral clip.
I suppose.
It's kind of pre-viral, but like I remember that being huge when I was like a teenager.
It got shared around quite a lot, you're right. And that's had a huge impact and people just still will say, cheesy pasta. I've had someone creep up to me when I was looking in a shop window and just saying cheesy pasta. That was it. And I was like, oh, that's really funny, actually. That's really funny. When you're not facing someone, just hearing that in the corner of you.
Alright guys, just to remind you that we are on Patreon, and for as little as just £3 a month you can sign up and get access to an extra episode every 2 weeks, plus bonus content from all our previous live shows. We have got many up there, don't we guys, that people can see on the Patreon. You also get access to first dibs on tickets for upcoming shows and things of that nature. We discounts from time to time and that type of thing.
Yep, loads of live shows that we've done at the Pavilion, the Glee, the Edinburgh Fringe, all that sort of stuff.
Tons of stuff up there.
Extra bonus episode with the three of us chatting shit every 2 weeks as well. That's the main thrust of it, innit? And they've also got the Day at the Fringe documentary and also us at the Euros in Germany last year that you filmed.
Yeah, so well over 70 hours of extra bonus Some Laugh content for you to enjoy. Go through the archives, is the wrong way to say that.
And they're better than what we're letting on right now. We sound bored saying this, but it's good stuff over there, isn't it?
It is. Hey, listen, and it supports us to continue doing the main podcast as well, doesn't it?
Yes, keeps us going, keeps us growing. Some of the Stevie's best stories that are hidden away in those.
Hear about my kitchen.
Yes,
disaster
type of stuff.
Stevie's kitchen nightmares.
There's we've really tracked the trajectory.
That's how you say all those words, right?
Of the last couple years of Steve's life, which has been fun. But anyway, aside from that, we do also have shows on sale for the Edinburgh Festival. In August, I will be doing Monkey Barrel 1 at 7:35 every night. A brand new show if you want to come along. And Steve and Stu guys,
we're doing Monkey Barrel 2 at noon. For I think the first week, give or take.
Yeah, just a little work in progress with us.
Shooting the shit.
The gloves are off.
Fanning around.
Having a laugh.
Come start your day with us, please.
Yes, so tickets for both of those on sale now. Hopefully see you at the live shows, see you over on the Patreon, and aside from that, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Enjoy.
There's worse things people could say to you in the street.
Oh, far worse. See, I read that review of you in The Scotsman in 2005, worse than the Fringe. And they were right.
If it was just like a really sinister quote from like when you were in Guilt and you played a villain, you know, if it was just like some like dialogue, that'd be quite unsettling.
Just anything Teddy was written for Teddy. And I know you're speaking to Neil, but getting to play a psychopath is... it's a real privilege, actually. It's brilliant.
Oh, aye.
There's something...
It was cool seeing you stretch your legs like that, you know, because it's such a different role for anything I've seen you do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it is the most different. And Neil approached me about that, and I spoke to Neil and the director, Pat Harkins, and they were like, how do you see him? And I said, I just see him as so still. And I think people it's a big generalization because you do get intimidating people who can be very alpha male and very big and up in your face, but I think I found with Teddy someone who's like immune to the violence, you know, either witnessing violence or doing violence. And so the idea of getting to play someone who is incredibly still is really interesting because you can't rely on big gestures. Gary's all about the big gesture, and Howard was all fresh meat, was all kind of bent and odd, and I did a bit, but to stand in a room and getting to threaten Mark Bonner being very, very still was a great leap of faith, I think, for Neil and Pat Harkins, and the production actually was to say, yeah, go and do that.
So it is genuinely unsettling though.
Oh, great. Well, the other day I found my Teddy, they gave me my little chain, my wrist chain that just has Teddy written on it, and even looking at that I'm like, he was so weird. He was so weird. But no, I loved that production. Also, I think Neil, he just wrote a great trilogy. He just wrote a really clever show.
Yeah.
See, with stuff like that, how method would you go at all? Or would you do you try and embody it, or can you keep it separate for when you're on set to off?
Do you know, I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis for obvious reasons in many regards. But what was interesting about when we filmed Guilt, I was in series 2 and 3, was it was pandemic.
Aye.
So I don't, not method, but it was interesting at that time was how dark it felt. Everything felt, I mean, it was Glasgow. We shot in Glasgow and it was incredibly shut down and the shops were boarded up. And I remember it just helping. It just actually helped kind of sustain during filming is that, these are really bleak times, and you can tap into that. It doesn't mean you're having to take it home, but I definitely found that it was quite draining doing it. And actually, it's quite draining being very, very still and very tense a lot when we were shooting that. But it was such a great production. So, not method, but the surroundings helped. So, thank you to whoever got that monkey in the market, because it helped their career.
See, an only child, because that's maybe, I don't want to say it's no you necessarily playing a version of yourself, but it's certainly a lot closer to you than maybe Gary or some of the other characters. Like, how do you find doing that, where it's almost like you're kind of just being more just yourself in a way?
It's almost more terrifying, but then it's still not me. So you have to keep it very, very fluid. But then Gregor and I kind of work really well together, and I think the writing on that is brilliant. But to be honest, I think it's more exposing. I think the closer you go to yourself, the more exposed you feel. Like podcasts for me are terrifying. Talking as me is terrifying because it's actually, this is what I feel, what I think. So there is an element of an only child that it is definitely the closest. But I think what I'm proud about in that show as well is you have to keep it real. You're not actually yourself. You're learning 10 pages of dialogue a day.
Aye.
So that's been brilliant to get to show people that, but I don't know if it just confuses casting directors, because I don't know if they go, what is it you do kind of thing. But personally, as an actor, I prefer doing a range of stuff than just doing it. So it's been nice to do it, but I would love my next challenge to be something a bit, where they go, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. A bit like Teddy, I suppose.
I was just thinking there with, you mentioned Howard as well, Fresh Meat, which is one of my favourites. I love that show. But it could be, like in Split, James McAvoy, he's got all those different characters.
Yeah.
I could picture all of you as living in one universe that just you've lost your mind,
Yeah, totally. I think that'd be brilliant. Well, listen, you write it and I'll be in it. That would be amazing. But yeah, I've been very lucky, in terms of getting to play very different things. I think there was a period when I was, doing Gary, that I thought, oh my goodness, I'm never going to get out of this. Gary, is that I'm stuck in this land, which may sound ungrateful, but obviously you want to make sure you're not just going to be in one path for the next 20 years or so. So I think looking at parts I've had access to I've been super lucky.
How was Fresh Meat to be on? And was that the thing that came right after Gary, or
it did? There was a crossover. I stopped Gary because at one stage I was writing Gary, being in Gary, then doing Fresh Meat, and that became just a bit much. And also I wanted a change. But Fresh Meat's one of the best jobs I've ever had. It was a riot. It was a genuine riot. We're all still mates. We'll see each other when we can, and but just a really special experience because we all lived in Manchester together. I think if it had shot in London, we might have kind of shot and gone home each night, whatever, but we were all up in Manchester for the whole time and actually lived in the same apartment blocks. So it felt like you were living that life. I mean, we were outrageous on that.
Oh, aye?
Oh my, I couldn't even tell you some of but we got it shot and they were very patient with us because there was something about how well we all got on. So we used to shoot all day and then go out together in the evenings for dinner, which is unheard of, really. You think, I just need a break. Is there good people or whatever? We went out, I'd say, 5 nights a week. We would go, not get steaming every night, you can't do that. But we'd go for dinner and then some nights we would go wild. So it was just magical, really magical. And to see everyone doing so well was just brilliant as well.
Brilliant cast. And
amazing
the
cast.
chemistry comes across as well.
Oh, thanks. Because I think... I've not witnessed this a lot. I've been in a couple of things where people think that comedy's a competition and they're fighting a bit harder than maybe some of the other people. But on that, everyone just wanted everyone else to do well. So there was no one-upmanship. There was no kind of try to pull focus, anything like that. Everyone just wanted the gags and the scripts. I mean, the scripts were written by Sam Bain and Jesse Armstrong. And Tony Roach and John Brown and lots of other different writers. But it was really about just trying to make the best of the show. And that might sound quite obvious, but you're very lucky when you get everyone on that page. There's not one actor you're going, all right, here we go. What are they doing in their single versus what they're doing on their mid-show? Everyone was just like that. Boom.
Yeah.
I know, one accolade to have done something they've written as well. But how did that go though? Because obviously for you writing your own thing and then you're acting and stuff that you're not writing, was it weird to let go of that control a wee bit?
No, it was brilliant because the scripts were so good.
Aye.
So I think, and I'm a writer performer. I've written, I suppose, quite a lot now in some ways, but Gary was not the complexity of what Sam and Jesse had written in Fresh Meat. I think they were hour-long commissions as well, so it was comedy kind of drama, but it was the kind of relief to get on that. And Sam and Jesse, I mean, they're quite open about this, is you are saying what is on that page, right? We are not improving here. We have not been in a room for however many,
for you to tiss about,
for you to muck about. And then Neil Forsyth is exactly the same.
So you're saying Brian Cox isn't allowed to improvise cheesy pasta on the set of Succession or something?
Exactly. But no, there's no improv. The only word I was allowed to say of my own choice was... there's a scene where Howard is having sex and it was his cum word, and I didn't tell anyone until we were shooting it, and the word in question was Jumanji. And Sam McCurdy, who was the DOP, and the director David Kerr, Sam, who's an amazing DOP, and he was on this kind of fish lens, which is kind of up here in my face as I came up and went, Jumanji. We had to do it about 20 times so that was my only improv word I was allowed was Howard's, which is an odd phrase to say, Howard's climax word. Weird. But
I think Jumanji fits perfectly though.
Well, I had a good think about it, and thankfully the writers allowed me it, but there was something about Jumanji that, I don't know, just seemed right. So, but you don't need to improv when things are of that kind of quality.
100%.
Yeah.
Did they have a suggested word that you changed, or did they just say just come up with something on your own?
No, I think they just allowed. I think I requested it, and I can't remember what the alts were, but they we went with Jumanji. Oh, odd times, but fun, really fun.
100%. Did you end up doing that? Did you do a live show, Gary, at the Hydro?
Yeah,
How was
did.
that?
That was indescribable, I think is the best thing to say, was that in the early part of 2016 I broke my ankle really, really badly, like shattered it, broke the tibia fibia, dislocated it. I fell down some stairs in a club in London, not too drunk, just quite, but I'd had, anyway, and I knew it was, I'd gone into shock.
Jack Whitehall again, a wee fresh meat.
Yeah, I can't remember who I was with on now. But I knew it was bad when the guy, I'd fell down these stairs, and the guy came out the toilet that was right opposite where I was, and he looked at my ankle and went, "Oh my God." Like I thought he was going to be sick. So the foot was the wrong direction. And the reason I say this is that year I just agreed to do the Hydro show with a shattered ankle. So I had to have quite a big operation, and then I had to write the show and physio, like really intense physio on my legs to get all the stuff back for October of that year. And then a month before the show was due to go up, my ankle started hurting really, really badly again. So I went back into the hospital. They said, you come in and have a scan or whatever. And I'd snapped the lateral pin. That's the main kind of the big pin in the middle. Oh, and so the consultant said to me, you will need to get that pin out. And I'm like, I can't, I've got a gig. And he went, well, you'll need to cancel that gig. And I said, no, it's in front of 10,000 people a night. If I cancel it, the producer will lose £500,000. And he went, right, okay, well, if you do it, I can't guarantee that your ankle will be okay. So I had to do the Hydro gig with a snapped pin on painkillers every day, on top of writing, drafting and all the rest of it. So by the time we did the show, after the show, and I've talked about this in the past actually, is I just hit a massive mental wall. I couldn't function very well actually. So when someone says, oh, you did the Hydro, how was it? It was a complicated year. So my memories of looking back on that are really mixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wish I could do it now more, because I think I would enjoy it. But at the time, I just felt like I need to get through this. I need to get through this. I need to get through it kind of thing. So, but really proud of it. Really proud. But
that's a shame that it was. It came
book in another one.
Would you?
I don't think I'd sell the Hydro now. A lot smaller.
Was there any party that just thought we could just say Gary's leg got blown off and
absolutely
right, a wheelchair or something?
The old landmine material's not as welcome as you'd think. But I've kind of joked about how would Gary eventually be finished. So maybe there is an opportunity to kind of go back in the Hydro and blow him up there and then. But
it's a party and you've seen all the Iran stuff kicking off, going, come on,
do you know what? I don't know if I'll talk about this too much, but I've actually been writing some more Tank Commander clips that I'm going to release.
Oh, nice.
Because there's too much going on. There's too much for me not to do a few things as Gary, and I'm now in control of it. So watch this space. It's not a new TV show. It's not a new series. It's not anything like that. But Gary's going to be commenting on There aren't.
Exciting.
Straight and vermouth, which is actually quite bendy. There's stuff I really want to say at the moment, and of course there's stuff we all want to say, but there's just too much going on with Putin and Trump and North Korea and all the rest of it. So
it's time for Gary.
I think there's a few clips I just want to stick out and see if folk are
see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah,
that's great. I was actually watching one of the clips on YouTube. It was the one like Bridges is in. It's like the cameo. And they turn up and they ask for a gun at
the letter from your mum and all that stuff. Aye, yeah.
What was that like doing that one?
That was amazing. I mean, the joy of writing is where you get to write for people. So with that for Kev, I remember because I compared Kevin's second or third ever gig at the Stand, and I was like, oh, this guy's on just another level. Even, rusty and young, but his word choice, his rhythm, everything was just so brilliant. So I got to know Kevin quite well. And so I just said to him, look, I'm writing this thing. Do you want a partner? He's like, well, I can't act. I said, you can. I'm going to write it for you, and I want you to deliver it but not as you, but close to you.
It was very him, I thought.
It was very him, and try to write as specifically as I could. So that was just a joy. So, and he was brilliant, and people still remember that. And Kev's quite self-deprecating about that kind of stuff, but I thought he was fantastic. And then so Miles Jupp, Miles, I wrote that part for Miles as well. And for Leah McRae, and people in mind. That's a really nice thing to get to do. So Kev's, and I think Kevin's done all right actually. He's gone on to do.
Him and Jack Whitehall both done all right.
They've done all right. They have done all right. The two of them, they've done absolutely fine. So no, I'm still in touch with Kev as well. We see each other, and it's just great to see people that work. And that's it, innit? He works so fucking hard, Kev. It's by no fluke that he's done that well.
Absolutely, that's always been my experience as well. It must be mad to see, like, because I love hearing all the stories about, like, you talk about like the Stand back in 2000 or whatever, and seeing what and who came out of all that, and because it does start with just people at the back of a pub or whatever, and then the next thing you know,
it does. And it was interesting when I saw the Joe Heenan episode about. And I don't go as many gigs now as I'd like to, but this kind of bulletproof feeling of people, open spots going on stage, not doing that well, but just ignoring that. Is that the case? Do you see that more and more?
Not regularly, I wouldn't say, but it does happen.
I think it's more if people have got, and they build up an audience online, it kind of doesn't matter as much, because the reality of what's happening on the stage doesn't matter. The reality for them is what they post on socials and stuff. Yeah.
But I suppose, that's, you can't get away from the fact that if you see someone live who is amazing, there's no bigger thrill than that. And there are certain people. So when I gigged with Kevin, and later on with Kevin and Frankie quite a lot, and Fred McCauley, and it was quite interesting for me when I started to realise that I couldn't really match what they did. There was a point in my career where I was like, I'm an actor and that's what I want to pursue. And also when I'm on stage with Tom Stade or Frankie Boyle or Kevin Bridges, Fred McCauley, I don't think I can do that. And that was quite good to step back and go, do you know what? Well, if you can't do that, go and push what it is you really want to do, which was acting. And that's what I loved. So the stand-up scene back then and working with all these people is, I might not feel as good as them, but actually that was quite good for me, was to go, well, what is it then? Mm-hmm. What is it you're going to go and do? And that's when the acting hopefully kind of took over, I suppose.
Aye. No, that's an amazing answer, Greg, because I think that is the thing, when you see people and they're just so different to you, or you say, like, there's people that do a thing that is like, I'm no that, and I can't do that, but I can do whatever my thing is, and I guess that's what you're saying.
Well, I think it's a world of comparison stand-up, isn't it, all the time, and there's some danger in that as you try and find your voice, but also there's some plus in that. In my case, it was, I can't do that and I'm going to go and do something else. But to notice difference in people is really healthy as well. So you might not feel you're good enough, or in my case, that's what I felt. But if you've got a separate act on that's completely the other world from you, that's really healthy. It's like you can rejoice in who you are. Mm-hmm. Like as an audience member, you want to go and watch 4 or 5 different people.
Yeah.
You don't want to see 5 of the same folk doing the same material, the same kind of stuff. And that's, I don't know, that's what people forget about stand-up. It is an absolute art form. And it is. I know people go, does that matter? Well, it does matter, because people are trying so hard to create difference between all these different people on stage. So
Absolutely, man.
Then it takes, perspective to recognise that. And then when you come to write scripts, like you say, and then you write for people like Miles or Kevin or whatever, then you know their characters so well that you can then tailor it to them. And
yeah, hopefully. And I think that's the key is certainly in script writing is to each line, and Sam and Jesse obviously, and in fact, and Neil and all these great writers that I've worked with, is each person who speaks on that page has to be different, has to be separate. And the weaker scripts that you read are the ones where it's gag, 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 interchangeable gag, interchangeable gag. So all of these things, I think, in terms of stand-up and what I've learned from the live side of performance is that really educates you.
Aye. Well, because I think, because obviously if you say you're working with other actors and stuff and you're maybe playing certain characters and you're bouncing off the people, that's like a feedback to go, all right, this is the kind of person that people see me as or whatever.
Yeah.
Because with stand-up, it's quite a binary thing of you get the laugh or you don't. And that's the feedback you're going off to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
People see me and all that stuff. But weirdly, one of the things about doing the podcast I found is that when you're sitting with another couple of guys and suddenly you're finding out who you are in relation to people, even your pals, and you go, all right, I'm this kind of person and they see me as this and that, and so suddenly it's more feedback than just laugh or not.
Totally.
And I've found it helpful in terms of going, all right, this is how I function in relation
absolutely
to
and
folk
because
and
you
all
don't have a live audience, it's like the dynamic is so different. In the live room, you're wanting to hear that laugh all the time to judge whether it's successful. But no, this is great.
Aye.
And I'm sorry, I've not been funnier on this, but listen, we've got another 3 hours of recording. We'll find something.
We'll
find something.
We'll cut it down.
We'll cut it down. Cheesy pasta. Is that it? Is that it?
That's it. We just need that for the clip, Greg. That'll be fine. I think last time I seen you was in Germany.
Oh my goodness, that's right.
Yeah.
Was that Stuttgart? Was that?
Yeah, that was
For the last
Stuttgart.
game, wasn't it?
I still feel bad because I kicked that football in your producer's face.
Oh, did you?
It was like a balloon football. And it came over and I hoofed it, and it was like point blank range from like a foot away, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, he still talks about that. He's raging about that, the
Yeah.
balloon in his
You're
face.
not getting the fucking opening for the live show of A View from the Terrace. That's still my joke.
Oh my goodness, can I tell this story about what happened at the Munich game?
Absolutely.
Please.
Say it and then we can cut it out if it's
Okay.
if it's a problem.
So, Hungary, that was Munich, wasn't it? The Hungary game at the end.
Munich was
Hungary
Germany.
was in. That was the last game. Was
So
Hungary?
Munich was sorry.
Hungary was the last game though, wasn't it?
Stuttgart.
Was that Stuttgart?
That was
We were in
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
The Hungary game was in Stuttgart.
Aye.
Oh, I was only there for a couple of days.
That's where we met you first.
Before the Hungary game,
Yeah.
right? So at the Hungary game,
Hungry, I could do some cheesy pasta.
Oi, that's a really good joke. That's actually clever. So I'm watching the game. It's obviously a very, very tense game. This guy beside me said, oh, hello, I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, a Scottish guy. I was like, all right, hi, how you doing? He went, do you want to know something about me? And I was like, oh yeah, you go on then. He said, I designed the Scotland strips. I'm like, oh, did you? That's amazing. Oh, brilliant. So the game goes on, gets tenser, more and more tense. Then we lost the game. At the end, the guy to my left who said designed the Scotland strips threw a pint over these massive hungry men in front of me and the producer from that show and ran off. And then 4 of these guys turned round. They looked like security size guys. They were like that. Went absolutely nuts. I was like, no, it's the guy that designed this. The guy that designed the strips. It was the most nuts ending.
Oh my God.
It was really bad. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know if he still designs them.
Yeah,
but
you were channeling Gary on the bus there, menacing Gary.
Medicine Gary, exactly.
That was the
fucking
hard
hell.
thing at that game because there was loads of the Hungry fans were dotted around.
Yeah.
Because there was like people behind me celebrating. We were like so gutted.
But you didn't chuck a pint on them, did you?
Didn't chuck a pint on
No.
them. But I was tempted.
I bet you were, but you
I
wouldn't
get
have.
where he was coming from.
That was a tough watch.
That was a very tough watch. Very tough watch.
And you did and not to say it didn't work, but I remember on the day we were on, I think on the train in, we watched, there was a clip of you as Gary doing like a rallying cry for the boys.
A motivational speech.
And I'm afraid it didn't work.
It didn't work. But that's
But it was fun
them.
at the time.
That's not Gary's fault. that's
No,
yeah.
better just playing up front. I think with the better chance.
I think, But yeah, I remember, Martin and Gordon on their show saying, would you do a wee impromptu speech? But yeah, that was mad. That kind of went a wee bit viral. So it's quite sweet that Gary's got a kind of following. But yeah, as you say, it did officially nothing. So But I am available for the World Cup if anyone wants to get me over there to do an in-dressing room speech. But yeah, hopefully they do all right. The group's not too bad, obviously, bar Brazil, but I think Scotland will do well.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll be out by the time this airs.
I know, probably. worst defeats in fucking history. But no, I'll be alright, won't it? It'll be good. But no, that's.
I take it you're not going out to this one.
No, I'm not going out to this one. No, no, I've got some work coming up, so I'll watch the games at whatever they are, 2, 4 a.m, 5 a.m. It's mental, isn't it? The first one's at 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's 2 and then the others are at 11 so
yeah.
it won't be as bad the other ones, but that's a late start, isn't it?
Are you going out?
No.
No, it's too expensive.
It's
this
crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
one. We went for the 2 weeks in Germany. We went for the whole 2 weeks.
Did you?
We went Munich, Stuttgart, and where was the other place? Cologne. And we got to 2 out of the 3 games, but it was like. It was
I've got to the 2 crushing defeats.
The 2 crushing, that's the main thing, yeah.
And the problem was because we went to the
we got so drunk at the other one we don't remember.
We don't remember that.
Do you know?
No, we went to the fan zone and shouted because there's a boy who listens to the pod. Just
Yeah.
insisted. We bumped into him. And he just insisted on buying his drink
Really
on
nice
it. So
guy.
we
I've
got
since
absolutely-
played football with him in
Oh,
London.
yeah.
I know him a wee bit, but it's one of those ones where the first time I met him, I don't remember any of that, so I'm trying to catch up.
That is brilliant. Just you let him buy drinks all night.
Pretty much.
Well, he was sort of quite insistent.
He was very insistent. We were very grateful.
That is fantastic. Good on you.
Yeah, shout out
That's
to
what we
Alan.
get in lieu of money for this.
Of
We
actual
just-
cash, yeah.
we just get
Yeah.
some people buy those drinks then again.
Well, I'll buy you a drink, even though I'm not getting paid. But yeah, no, that's absolutely no problem at all.
No, but it was that was some trip though, wasn't it? But I know I just feel. And the one thing I was thinking, see, when we were in Germany, I was kind of like, it'd be good if Scotland got through so I could go home and watch a game back in Scotland. So I'm kind of looking forward to this time being there
Yeah,
and watching it from home.
I know, because it's brilliant being the games live if they're going well, but if you're getting absolutely trounced, it's a bit trickier.
Well, I felt particularly after that game in Stuttgart, I was just like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I'd be here
Yeah,
for
I
one
watched
second
that.
longer,
I watched
you
that in
know?
Edinburgh with my mates, and it was a very, very hard watch. But anyway, this is going to be different. They're going to get through to the semis and then the final and then win it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
So we'll
don't
be
do a
fine.
rally and call for them this
No, I
time.
won't. I won't.
So how did you find doing season 2 Only Child then? Because I say I was a big fan of the first series, watched the second series the last few days. It's been
Yeah,
very
I
fun.
absolutely loved it, to be honest, because Bryce, the writer, Bryce Hart,
Yeah.
his writing is just so tight, and then Gregor and I got on well, but the cast as a whole, again, it's a really fantastic cast of people.
Totally.
So it's just like dream gig, very relaxed kind of shooting style, and we all got on really well. I mean, it's tough. Well, I can't say that with any. God, it's like Joe Heenan talking about being on a building site. I mean, we shoot a lot of pages a day, and I'm in every scene of pretty much the show. So there's a demand on you, but when you're having a good time, it's just a dream. It's a dream gig.
And there's a lot of it shot in forests where it's set.
Not as much as we'd like. We'd do a few days in forest, but again, not to get too technical, but the budgets mean basically we would have to set up camp in forest and all the crew would have to be paid for, so we kind of need to stick for most of the show where most of the crew are based. Otherwise you have to pay for another layer of expenses and travel and time and all the rest of it. So most of it's in Glasgow, and then we do a few days up in forest, which I think is absolutely right. I mean, if I was in charge of budgets, I would be giving a lot more money from Visit Scotland or from other quangos that could promote Forest, and we could be up there more, but it's just the reality of making a TV show, really.
Because I'd seen the first series, you went along to the stadium for Forest Mechanics, which must be one of the best football team names ever.
It is. I don't even know how many mechanics play for it, but no, it's a nice stadium. But yeah, it'd be great to shoot more up there. And actually, we shot more this year than we did the previous year. So maybe if we got another series, I don't know, we're waiting to hear about that, whether we'd get more time up there or
Set
not.
up Hollywood and Forest.
Do you know?
Well, I think it needs it. It absolutely needs it. You never know. Maybe we could get a big sound stage and a whole new investment in the Forest TV industry, which would not be a bad shout at all, actually. But yeah, hopefully we'd get to shoot more if we went back up.
Do you know, I got through the entire second series up till the last, I would say, 12 minutes. So I'm still on a cliffhanger to find out what happens with the Will They Want They story and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
It was all a dream.
Well, I won't ruin it, but it's a very passionate love scene. Jumanji. Exactly. You can imagine poor Richard. He's a bit of a loser in that department, but yeah, as you can imagine, it does, nothing goes smoothly or as smoothly as he would like from his own making, really.
Are you getting some satisfaction from kind of like, because he gets the phone calls for his agent who's always fobbing him off and all that stuff? Are you channeling any actory frustrations through that?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Not my current agent, who's fantastic actually, but I've been with previous agents who have spoken to me like that.
Oh, aye?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I left an agent because I was moaning about something or other, and she said, well, at your age and stage you should be grateful to be getting auditions. And I left the agency 12 hours later. I'd signed with someone else.
Fucking
it's absolutely brutal.
I think with actors in particular it seems quite not vicious, but like it's just cutthroat the way things are done.
Yeah, it can be, but I mean, if you're with good people, it's the way they communicate it with you. But the industry has certainly become unrecognisable, given in the last 20 years to when I started to now. It's not the same industry at all in any way, shape, or form. The way things are.
How do you mean?
Well, just in terms of you used to go and meet people for meetings, and now it's tapes and or Zoom meetings. That this whole face-to-face interaction over a script is now almost completely non-existent.
Aye.
And that is very, very odd. It's very odd because I've got parts from going into a room and going with my interpretation or my instinct, then a director going, yeah, all right, well, what about X, Y, and Z? What about that? Or that would tie into that. All right, well, all right, how do you think about it? And then, so you develop in the room, and I've got parts from that. And where you take that element away, you have just very stark kind of exchanges, which is you chuck a tape into the ether, and you're not getting any real feedback on how that works.
It's just your best guess as well.
It's your best guess, and then there is an argument your best guess should be close enough to either get you the part or be close to it. But I think there's a lot of when there are literally thousands and thousands of actors taping for one or two parts, it makes it kind of feel quite a alienating experience now.
Aye, and I guess it's how creativity works as well, because like you say, it's like you go in and you build a character and you can go, change that, and then suddenly, that actually works, never thought of that.
That's what I think it is. And also I think I want to see who I might be working with, and then they want to see, can I direct this person, and can I get them to do this on the day? Can they change on the day? Can they change in relation to that? And I'm not going to moan about it. It's the reality of the industry, but it's unrecognisable versus when you would be. I mean, although to be fair, recently I've seen a couple of people who are now saying I don't want any more tapes because I can't tell who people are, and that was really reassuring to see that actually. But actors will always moan no matter what.
100%.
The industry's changed. It's not what it used to. Shut up. It's always been tricky or whatever.
Well, because I suppose one of the benefits of maybe just sending the tapes in is it's a wee bit less like personal, like the rejection or whatever. Because that's something that's intimidating for me, and like the cutthroat thing. Because as stand-ups, you get used to go up there and maybe down your arse, whatever. But see that thing and going into a room and getting the kind of
the Simon Cowell treatment.
Yeah. Have you got any horror stories or any kind of particular like bad auditions or anything like that you could talk
worst audition I've ever had was after drama school, where this is really, really bad. Was
they didn't chuck a pint over you, did they?
No, they didn't chuck a pint over me. No, but in some ways it was much more soul destroying, which it was like a physical theatre, it was like a dance kind of show they were doing, but what they wanted you to do for the audition was a song, and I thought it was kind of breakdancey style show it was going to be, and I decided to do an Eminem rap, and I'm not joking, it was so bad that one of the they couldn't control it. There was 3 in the panel, and I remember actually at the start of this going, yo, you ready? Like something, just a guy from Morningside.
I'm just picturing Gary doing it for some reason.
Gary would have committed 100%. I didn't commit. I was about 63% I think in terms of commitment, and they just started laughing, and one of the guys turned away, and it was just his shoulders going, and he couldn't help it. It was just agony. It was just agony.
It does sound funny.
But you couldn't know. I mean, seeing it, but I would never like to see it back. But yeah, I remember leaving that audition room. That was a bad one. And then I got seen for Oliver Twist. This was about 25 years ago. And it was a West End production. I went and met the director, did this speech. He's like, brilliant. He said, that was absolutely brilliant. I would love for you to come back for the dance call. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dance call. Yeah, dance call. Come back tomorrow for the dance call. Okay. turned up the next day. It was me and one other guy in a pair of Asics trainers, right? Everyone else had the dance shoes on. Everyone else had the proper dance shoes. Me and this other guy, we were not dancers. And the choreographer was like, okay, so we're going to do 5, 6, turn, hop, space, kick, space, hop, turn. Everyone's like, brilliant. Me and this other guy like, oh. So that was just, you're just lost at sea with that kind of stuff. But yeah, those stand out. Dance is not my forte. You'd be surprised to hear.
Did you ever tell Jesse Armstrong that rap story? Do you think that's where the Kendall rap came from?
Oh my God. No, I don't know if he, oh my God, I'd forgotten about that.
Could be based on it.
Yeah, no, it could well be based on that. Maybe that had just spread throughout the whole industry that this guy, you're like, no way, I'm working with him at the moment. So no, but generally things have been all right. But most people are lovely. But yeah, of course you're going to just make an arse of yourself. But I thought with stand up, like a good thing was once you've died on your arse doing stand up, I find it easier going into audition rooms, having died spectacularly at a number of things. So
yeah, I've played quiet rooms like this before to quote Alex Turner.
At least that's on like 3 or 4 people staring at you, and they've not paid to see you.
Oh no, I died on my arse at Leicester Mercury Comedian of the Year Award, 400 people, 450, and I had not a single laugh, and that was remarkable.
Yeah.
Like I rewrote a new set. I'd got to the final, so you think you're funny, and then I was like, I'm not doing that material, I'll go and do a new 10 minutes, and as we all know, 10 minutes is not easly to come up with, really, or good quality.
Yeah.
And I died and played to absolute silence. Silent. I'm not like pin drop.
Actual silence.
Actual silence, not a kind of occasional laugh.
Yeah.
Actual zero. So, there we go.
But then once you've get through that, then what the fuck's going to war in Afghanistan? You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. It's all part of the fun of the fair. But yeah,
100%. Well, we'll not keep you much longer, Greg. Thank you so much for coming in. And
you're welcome.
us.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of
those.
those long overdue ones we've always been meaning to have.
Thank you. Well, cheers for having me.
No, of course. Before you go, so obviously Only Child Series 2 is now out. You can watch both series on iPlayer at the moment. Have you anything else you want to plug? Where can we find Gary's videos when they go
Gary's
up?
videos are, I'm not sure when they're going to come out, but they will be out in the next few months. And then I've just written a play for a scheme called Positive Stories for Negative Times. And that's for basically schools and youth groups. I've just written an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet about the left wing and the right wing rather than the Capulets and the Montagues. Wow. And about a young right winger who gets dragged into anti-migrant protest outside an ex-hotel, these kind of housing asylum seekers in hotels, and he kind of falls for the lady who's the asylum seeker, and it's about their friendship building and about the community and the clashes between the left and the right. So that's a scheme that if you're an educator or you've got community groups, that I'd love people to get involved with that scheme, Positive Stories for Negative Times.
Oh, amazing. Well, if we'll get links and stuff, we can put that on all the
amazing
and stuff. And cool. That sounds brilliant. Well, thanks so much for.
Thank you
so much, Greg. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, and just before we go, just please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can sign up to Patreon for as little as £3 a month. Get access to an extra episode every 2 weeks plus bonus content from all the live shows. And of course, as ever, you can send any questions you've got to the email address, which is somewherepod@gmail.com. But thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Thank you.